Hi, I'm Kayla, the BookTube Turtle, and today I'm doing the mid-year book tag. So, it's been a minute since I posted a video. I don't think I've posted since my 2023 wrap-up top favorite books that I posted back in January. But here we are. So I'm gonna go through the questions of this tag and talk about my reading so far this year and my plans for the rest of the year. Question 1 is, what is the best book you've read so far in 2024? For me, it is kind of a tie right now between Daughter of the Bone Forest and What the Woods Took. I read Daughter of the Bone Forest as an arc. Did I read both of these as arcs? I think I might have read both of these as arcs. Anyway, I read a lot of arcs this year. Yeah, they were both really good. I read them super fast. Daughter of the Bone Forest is kind of witchy, and there's people who can do magic and then people who are familiars and can shapeshift that are bonded to the people with the magic. And the main character ends up being sent to this school for people like her, and yeah, she's trying to hide who she actually is. It's been a million years since I've read this book, so I don't really remember a lot of the details, but that's the general thing. What the Woods Took is about a group of teens who are put into this wilderness program, and everything is sort of going fine, until they realize that there are these supernatural creatures in the forest, and things are not what they seem, and everything just kind of falls apart from there. But it was really good, and I loved the characters and the story, and the supernatural elements worked really well, and I just really honestly want to read it again, and that one honestly might be my #1 for the year. The next question is, what is the best sequel you read so far this year? And for me, that is going to be Dark Air. This did not come out this year, but I read it this year, and it was so good. I also painted the pages purple. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, Dark Eyes was one of my favorite books whenever I first read that, so I was super excited to read the sequel, and it did not disappoint, and I cannot wait for book 3 because the cliffhanger was torture. I'm still tortured. So yeah. Question 3 is, what is a new release you haven't read yet but you want to? I'm gonna go with The Only Light Left Burning, which is the sequel to All That's Left in the World. I did not pull that book to bring over here. Anyway, this is a dystopian, post-apocalyptic or currently apocalyptic type thing. The world is ending, and yeah. Question 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? So I don't know when the rest of these are coming, but the Shadowhunter, Seasons of Shadowhunter Kickstarter thing just started. We got the first installment, which is Secrets of Blackthorn Hall, which I'm currently reading, and it's so pretty. But I cannot wait for the other 3 installments of this thing. I'm very excited. Question 5 is, what is your biggest disappointment? For me, it is The Book of Doors. I wanted to love this book so much. I loved the premise of it, of people gaining powers through these special books that are kind of scattered across the world. I could not finish it. The execution of the ideas just wasn't it for me, and there were just so many characters, and it felt really hard to keep up with anybody. It was just a lot, and it just was not for me. My biggest surprise for the year, I think I'm gonna go with Attached at the Hip. I also read an arc of this, but I didn't really know what to expect. Because I know there were kind of mixed feelings with Christine's second book, so I didn't really know how this third book was gonna be. And I'm not the biggest romance reader in general, but I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. It was just, yeah, it was a fun, fast read, and I had a good time reading it. Question 7 is, who is your favorite new author? This can be a debut author or new to you. So a new author to me is Holly Jackson. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder at the beginning of the year. I still need to read the rest of the series, but I really enjoyed this book, and I'm very excited to read Holly Jackson's other books, both in this series and other things that she has. Question 8 is newest fictional crush, but I can't answer that because I don't I'm too arrow for that. So anyway, I changed that question to favorite reread because I reread a lot of books. And so far, I haven't actually reread as much this year as I usually do, but so far I'm gonna go with Passenger. I reread this for the first time in years and I had so much fun because I'd forgotten a lot of what happens, so it was really fun to kind of dive back into this, and I'm very excited to read the sequel at some point. It's described as like a scavenger hunt through time, so it involves time travel, and this girl finds out that she's from a family of time travelers and she has to find a specific object to save her mom, so she is like jumping through time and places to locate this object. The next question is, who's your newest favorite character? I had trouble with this because a lot of the books I've read have been like sequels to things or a reread, so it's like I already knew the characters, but a new character that I did get this year was Charlie from the Charm Offensive, and definitely a new favorite. I love him. He's got so much anxiety. He was on the A spectrum, and it wasn't explicitly stated, but he also gave autism vibes. So that was just really cool to see his character and all of these things that I also am. Question 10 is, what is a book that made you cry? All of the books make me cry. Question 11 is, what is a book that made you happy? So a lot of these books also made me happy, but some that I haven't talked about yet is I reread recently Unravel Me and Ignite Me, which is book 2 and 3 of the Shatter Me series. I have read Shatter Me, the first book, several times. I apparently haven't read these since 2017. So yeah, it was really exciting. Book 2 is like my least favorite because it just is. But book 3 is my absolute favorite, and I loved getting to read this again and experience it again because it had been so long. Question 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? So I haven't really bought many books this year. I don't think. I do most of my book buying around Christmas time because the books are on sale. But anyway, a book that I did get this year is 404. It is very pretty, and I worked on this book. I worked with the author on some of the like story development, but mostly like the copy editing, proofreading, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really cool to like have it in my hands, and the cover is so pretty. Yeah, I will link the book below if you want to check it out. It's a little bit of romance, a little bit of mystery, but it was really, really good, and I had such a good time working on it. And finally, the last question is, what are some books that you need to read by the end of the year? All the books, so many. You can see Rule of Wolves and King of Scars right there that I still haven't read, even though that has been my answer to this question for like 3 years. But I'm gonna go with The Eternal Ones. No, that's not. The Merciless Ones and The Eternal Ones, which are the book 2 and 3 to The Gilded Ones. I just reread The Gilded Ones, so I'm very excited to read these for the first time. This one's painted gold. I haven't painted this one yet, but I will get to that before I read it. But yeah, I'm very excited to read these books soon. That is my mid-year book tag, even though we are kind of past the middle of the year by the time I'm filming this. It's fine. So yeah, tell me what books you've been enjoying this year, what you're excited for the rest of the year, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.